Здравствуйте. Hello and welcome to Russian language class. Before moving on, let's have a quick recap of some of the topics that we have learnt in the previous lesson. If you remember, we have learnt the construction Skolka vam let. How old are you? So, how do we ask someone about his or her age? So, when we ask someone about his or her age, we use the noun or pronoun in the dative case, like we have used in the given sentence. Skolka let вашему брату. Skolka let вашему брату. So, how old is your brother? So, here as you can see, we have used the noun brat and vash, which is the possessive pronoun, in the dative case. And how do we answer? Again we use the dative case plus the number, cardinal number, and the form of goth, year. Moему брату 28 лет. My brother is 28 years old. So, had it been 24, we would have used 24 года. Had it been 21, we would have used 21 год. So, there are three forms which needs to be memorized in order to be able to answer this question. So, goth has three forms. So, if the cardinal number ends with 1, we use goth. If the cardinal number ends with 2, 3, 4, we use goda, and if the cardinal number ends with 5 onwards and 0, we use let. Goth, goda and let. We had also discussed the nouns, pronouns and adjectives in the plural form in the dative case. So, the plural of nouns, pronouns and adjectives in the dative case. Каким друзьям вы часто пишете? Каким друзьям вы часто пишете? So, to which friends do you write often? Я часто пишу старым друзьям. Я часто пишу старым друзьям. So, I often write to old friends. I often write to the old friends. So, here as you can see, stari and drug, they have been used in the plural form in the dative case. Я часто пишу старым друзьям. So, this is about some of the topics that we had discussed in the previous lessons. So, we will now move on to the topics that we are going to cover in this lesson. We will start the lesson with the conjunction shtoby, which means so that or in order to. Although it can be translated in various ways, but the main meanings are so that, in order to. Let us look at some of the examples where we have used the conjunction shtoby. Я хочу, чтобы вы позвонили Ивану. Я хочу, чтобы вы позвонили Ивану. I want you to call Ivan. So, here as you can see, shtoby has been used to introduce the subordinate clause, and before shtoby, if you look at here, we have put a comma. So, shtoby is used to introduce the subordinate clause, and one more important thing here is the verb in the subordinate clause is in the past tense, whereas the verb in the principal clause is in the present tense. So, what happens is the subject of the main clause or the principal clause demands the subject of the subordinate clause to perform certain action, and we use this construction where we have used the verb in the subordinate clause in the past tense. Я хочу, чтобы вы позвонили Ивану, and this happens when the subjects of the main clause and the subordinate clause are different. Let us move on to the next example. Я приехал в Москву учиться. So, here the sentence is without the conjunction shtobe. This is a simple sentence with compound predicate. As you can see, there are two verbs here, priechal and uchitsa. And as we have already discussed that if there are two verbs in the same sentence, we do not need to conjugate the second verb. So, that is why uchitsa is in the infinitive form. Ya priechal Moscow uchitsa, I have come to Moscow to study. The same sentence can be denoted in a complex sentence with the use of the conjunction shtoby. Ya priechal v Moskvu shtoby uchitsa. Here, as you can see, this is the subordinate clause with shtoby, but the meaning remains the same. I have come to Moscow in order to study. So, the meaning is the same, but here a complex sentence has been used to convey the same meaning. And as you can see, in this sentence, the performer of the action is the same, which is the subject of the principal clause, which is ya here. Ya priechal v Moskvu shtoby uchitsa and ya priechal v Moskvu uchitsa. So, in this case, we use the infinitive form of the verb in the subordinate clause. Ya priechal v Moskvu shtoby uchitsa. Some more examples. Mama хочет, чтобы сын поступил в этот университет, в этот институт. Мама хочет, чтобы сын поступил в этот институт. Mother wants her son to take admission in this institute. Поступить, поступать and поступить is to take admission somewhere, and it takes where or na plus noun in the accusative case. That is why we have used в этот институт. Institute in the accusative case remains institute. Mother wants her son to take admission in this institute. So, this is how the conjunction shtobe is used if there are two subjects, I mean different from each other in the principal and the subordinate clause. We use the verb in the past tense in the subordinate clause, and if the subjects are the same in the principal as well as in the subordinate clause, we use the verb in the infinitive form, like we have used here, ya priechal v Moskvu shtoby uchitsa. So, this is about the conjunction shtoby, which means in order to or so that. In the previous lessons on Russian language, we have so far covered 4 cases. The first one, nominative, which denotes the subject in a sentence, and then we had covered prepositional case, which denotes location. Then we have done dative case, which denotes the indirect objects, and accusative case, which denotes the direct objects. So, these 4 cases we have already covered. So, now we will start the 5th case, which is genitive case. Genitive case is also referred to as possessive case, and as the name suggests, its main use is it denotes the possession of a noun. For example, so we will now look at the uses of the genitive case, and the first I have already told you that it is used to denote possession, and the questions that the nouns in the genitive case answers is chei, chia, chio, which means whose. Obviously, when you denote the possession, you will ask whose is something, and then the person will answer this is someone's something. For example, chei это друг, chei это друг, chei это друг, whose is this friend. And here I have written the answers also. Это друг Анны, это друг Анны, this is Anna's friend. And as we know that in English we use an apostrophe to show the possession, but in Russian we do not use anything like that. we only use the genitive case form of the noun. So, here this Anni is the genitive case form of the noun Anna, which is a proper noun. So, it is a name, it is a Russian feminine name. Чей это друг? Это друг Анны. Чья это книга? Чья это книга? Это книга Алексея. Alexei, again it is a masculine Russian name. So, here kniga Alexeya denotes that Alexei's book. So, this is Alexei's book. Чье это пальто? Чье это пальто? Whose is this? Coat. Пальто is coat. Это пальто брата. This is brother's coat. So, this is brother's coat. So, here again we have used the genitive case form of the noun brat. So, brata, Alexeya, и Anni, these are genitive case forms of the nouns Anna, Alexei, и brat. So, the first use of genitive case is to denote possession. So, let us move on to the second use of the possessive case or the genitive case. The genitive case of nouns is also used to show negation, negation or of somebody or something, and this is denoted in the present tense with the help of negative particle нет, in the past tense не была, and in the future tense не будет. Нет, не была and не будет. I have written here one assertive sentence and its negative counterpart in the present tense, in the past tense and in the future tense. So, let us have a look at each one of them. У меня есть сестра. У меня есть сестра. I have a sister. So, here as you can see, sestra is in the nominative case. What if we convert this sentence into negative construction? У меня нет сестры. So, here we are using нет, which denotes the negation. So, when we use the negation, we cannot use the nominative case, we use the genitive case. Sestra has become sestri. У меня нет сестры. I do not have a sister. This was in the present tense. The next example we have is у меня были деньги. У меня были деньги. I had money. Деньги is money. So, this is the assertive sentence. So, where деньги is the nominative plural noun. So, now what if you convert this sentence into a negative construction? У меня не было денег. У меня не было денег. So, here we have used the genitive case form of the noun деньги. У меня не было денег. I did not have money. So, the next example we have is in the future tense. У нас будет время. У нас будет время. So, we will have time. So, this was the assertive or assertive construction, and время is in the nominative case. What if we convert the same sentence into a negative one? У меня не будет времени. У меня не будет времени. So, I will not have time. So, as you can see, with нет in the present tense, with не было in the past tense, and with не будет in the future tense, we use the genitive case of nouns to show negation. So, this was the second use of the genitive case of nouns. So, we will now look at the third use of the genitive case of nouns. The genitive case of nouns is also used to show negation after transitive verbs. For example, вчера я видел сестру. Вчера я видел сестру. So, here there is no negation. So, this is an affirmative sentence. So, we have used sistra in the accusative case, that is why a has become u. So, this is how we change the noun, feminine gender noun in the accusative case, if you remember. Now, the same sentence with the negation, včera ni videl sestry. So, here we are not using the same accusative case, we are using the genitive case of the noun sestra. Včera ja videl sestru, yesterday I saw my sister. Včera ja ni videl sestry, yesterday I did not see my sister. So, whenever there is negation after the transitive verbs, so here the transitive verb is vidit, which is to see, we use the genitive case of nouns. So, if there is affirmative sentence, we use the accusative case to denote the direct object, but whenever we use the same transitive verbs with negation, here ne is there, we use the genitive case of nouns. The second example, ia cital etu knigu, ia cital etu knigu, I read this book. So, this is the affirmative sentence, there is no negation. Ja ni cital etu knigi, ja ni cital etu knigi, I did not read this book. So, here there is negation, that is why we have used the genitive case of the noun kniga, which is knigi. So, in the first sentence we are using the accusative case to show the direct object, and here we are using the genitive case to show the negation. So, what all, where do we use the genitive case? The first uses possession, the second uses negation. Now, we will move on to the third use. The genitive case of nouns is also used to show relation of a noun with another noun. In English, it is equated with the preposition of, something of something. So, for this relation or the part of the whole. So, if you are denoting the part of something, we use the genitive case. For example, Stalitsa Enji, Stalitsa Enji, Stalitsa is the capital of India. So, here as you can see, there is a relation between this noun with this noun. So, to show the relation, we have used the genitive case of the noun. So, here India is in the form of the genitive case. Centre Gorada, Centre Gorada, Gorat, you already know this word, this is city, and centre is center, center of the city or city center or commercial center. So, here this is also the part of the city. So, here we are showing the part of the whole, Centre Gorada, commercial center or center of the city or city center. Stakan Vadi, Stakan Vadi, Stakan is glass and Vada, you know, water. Stakan Vadi, a glass of water. So, here as you can see in these three combinations, the relationship or the part of the whole has been denoted with the use of the genitive case of nouns. So, here all these three nouns Enji, Gorada and Vadi are in the form of the genitive case, and we are denoting the relation between two nouns here. So, this is the third use of the genitive case. Genitive case of nouns is also used after the cardinal numbers except 1. With 1 we use the nominative singular, and with 2, 3, 4 we use genitive singular, and with 5 onwards and if a cardinal number ends with 0 we use genitive plural. For example, Skolka studentov, how many students? So, if you answer with a cardinal number which has 2, 3, 4 at the end, we use the genitive singular, dva studenta. 3 studenta, 4 studenta, and if it is 5 up to 20 or if it ends with 0, we use genitive plural. 20 studentov, 2 studenta, but 20 studentov. So, studenta is the genitive singular form of the noun student and studentov is the genitive plural form of the noun student. Skolka machine, skolka machine, how many cars? 3 machine, 3 cars, there are 3 cars. So, since here we have used 3, after cardinal number 2, 3, 4 we use the genitive singular form of the noun. So, machina has become machini, 3 machini, and if the number we use has 5 at the end, we use the genitive plural. 25 machine, 3 machini, genitive singular, 25 machine. So, this is the fourth use of the genitive case. So, the genitive case of nouns is used with the cardinal numbers except 1. So, with 2, 3, 4 we use the genitive singular, and with 5 onwards up to 20, and if the number ends with 0 we use the genitive plural form of the noun. The genitive case of nouns is also used after certain words which denote the relative quantity of nouns. For example, skolka, stolka, mala, mnoga, neskalka and others. Skolka, we have already done this word before. Skolka is how many or how much. Mnoga is a lot. Mala is few. Neskalka is several. Let us look at the examples where these words have been used. Было много вопросов. So, there were many questions. Было много вопросов. В этом году здесь мало снега. В этом году здесь мало снега. So, this year there is less snow here. Snake is snow. Осталось несколько заданий. Осталось несколько заданий. Остаться is left. So, there are several exercises or tasks left. So, here as you can see, after mnoga, mala, neskalka we have used the genitive case of nouns. Zadani has become zadani, snake has become snega and vapros has become vaprosaf. So, now we have already discussed some of the important uses of the genitive case. So, in the next lesson we will learn about the declension of nouns in the genitive case. So, this is all for today. So, what all we have learned today? We started the lesson with the conjunction shtoby, and then we introduced to you the genitive case of nouns where we learned the uses of genitive case. So, what uses we have covered? The genitive case of nouns is used to show possession, negation, part of the whole or relation, and after numbers, cardinal numbers except 1 we use the genitive case, and in the last we have learnt after some words which denote the relative quantity we use the genitive case. So, this is all for today. Spasiba, до свидания.